playing the third Northern Plains League game on their schedule on April 6th, the Beetdiggers mixed in just the right ingredients. They were coming off a 19-run victory 2 days earlier against the Akron Rams. They were facing a Ray Eagles team they had dominated throughout the years, and they had their ace, Bryson Miller, on the hill. After Miller disposed of the Eagles in the top of the first, Miller delivered a two-out double in the bottom of the frame, and that brought up Adam Brungard.
And Brungard awaits the pitch. He swings and lifts it into center field. That ball's got some carry, going way back, shy of the track, and over the head of Tim Crow. Brungard is going to stride into second with a two-out RBI double, consecutive doubles for the Beetdiggers. Scoring on the play is Charlie Greenwood. It's 1-0 Brush.
It was still 1-0 1 inning later when the Beetdiggers again had two out, nobody on. Brett Okeson delivered a double, and that sent up Tomas Perez.
And the 2-0. Perez swings and hits a fly ball deep into center field, going way back and over the head of Tim Crow. This is going to be another double. Scoring is Brett Okeson. The Beetdiggers have duplicated their first inning performance. They lead 2-0.
And the Eagles really couldn't touch Bryson Miller, who had 6 strikeouts over the first 3 innings. And that's when the Beetdiggers decided to open things up in the bottom of the third inning. Jose Aguilar led off with a single, stole second. 2 batters later was at third on Adam Brungard's fielder's choice. 2 batters later, Mitch Muniz was at the plate.
Here is the stretch. And the 0-1. Muniz swings and lines it off the pitcher's glove towards the second baseman. Muniz trying to beat it out, and he will. It's a base hit for Mitch Muniz as Finley could not make the play in time. Scoring is Aguilar. That will be an RBI for the Beetdiggers center fielder, and they lead 3-0.
The Beetdiggers had scored all their runs with 2 outs. Adam Alexander continued that streak.
The 0-1 pitch. Alexander swings and hits a fly ball in a short center field. That one should drop. It's over the head of the second baseman, Finley, scoring easily as Brungard. Here comes Muniz. He slides. He's safe. And going into second is Alexander. The Diggers have extended their lead. It's 5-0 on the 2-run single from Adam Alexander.
After Brett Okeson was hit by a pitch, that brought up the 9th place hitter, Tomas Perez.
Perez swings and hits a fly ball high and deep into left field. That's going to sail way over the head, and it's gone. Well, I thought maybe that ball was going to hit up against the fence, but Garth Lenz ran out of room. No more fence for Tomas Perez, a 3-run shot. The Diggers lead 8-0.
And the rally didn't stop there. Jason Radke would single, steal second, and then Jose Aguilar struck out. However, the ball got away from the catcher Ty Kirst, who threw the ball into right field. That allowed Radke to score to make it 9-0. Now, if the Beetdiggers were to play an abbreviated 4.5-inning game, they would need to score another run, and they were looking for that run in the bottom of the 4th inning. With 1 down, Alexander walked, stole second. Brett Okeson was looking to give the Diggers a double-digit lead.
Swung on and lined up the middle by Okeson for a base hit. Rounding third is Alexander. Here's the third of the plate. He slides. He's safe. It's over the head of the catcher. And galloping into second is Brett Okeson, and the Beetdiggers lead 10-0 on the 1-out single from the second baseman, Brett Okeson.
So the only thing that needed to be done was Bryson Miller ending the game in classic fashion.
The pitch. Curveball swung on and missed. Ginther's going to have to throw out the hitter as the ball bounced up there. He lost it over the hitter, and catching the baseball is Eric Ingmeyer at first, and that is officially the first out of the inning. Let's check out the 1-2. Called strike 3, fastball on the outside corner just below the belt. Strikeout number 8 for B. Miller, 2 down in the top half of the 5th inning. Miller winds the pitch. Swing and a miss with a breaking ball. Miller strikes out the side, and the Beetdiggers win the game thanks to 9 strikeouts and a 3-hitter from Bryson Miller. 10-0 the final score.
The Beetdiggers were also excellent offensively with 12 hits. As a matter of fact, the bottom 3 hitters in Alexander, Okeson, and Perez combined for 6 hits. Bryson Miller also had 2 hits. The Diggers improved to 3-7 overall and 1-2 in the Northern Plains. Already deflated from their Game 1 loss earlier on April 6th, the Ray Eagles got off to a bad start in Game 2. Brush starting pitcher Adam Alexander retired the Eagles in order in the top of the first, including a couple of strikeouts, and then Brush leadoff hitter Jason Radke reached on an error by first baseman Joel Orr. However, race starting pitcher Reese Bowman had a chance to get out of the jam when he retired the next two hitters. But Adam Brungart had a different idea.
The pitch. He swings and hits a shot into left field, going way back over the head of Akey. I don't know if Brungart can get the second because that quickly got to the fence and ricocheted. Nonetheless, it drives in Radke, and the Diggers lead 1-0 on the smoking single from Adam Brungart.
Bowman prevented further damage, but the Eagles were unable to hit Alexander until the fourth inning, when with one out, Corwin Lenz tied the game on a solo home run. That set the stage for the bottom of the fourth inning and the Beetdigger Brigade. Once again, it was an error by a Ray Eagle, this time by shortstop Corwin Lenz, off the bat of Mitch Muniz to lead off that frame. Two batters later, Brett Okeson singled. Tomas Perez then walked to load the bases. Up next, Jason Radke.
Radke is 0 for 2. The wind and the pitch to the Beetdigger. Shortstop is swung on and lifted into center field. That one is diving and cannot make the catch. Scoring easily is Muniz. Staying at third is Okeson. It's an RBI single from Radke. A diving attempt out there by Tim Crow, and the Diggers have reclaimed the lead at 2-1.
It was 3-1 when Brett Okeson scored on a Bowman wild pitch. Bowman then struck out Jose Aguilar, but Bryson Miller was hit by a pitch to reload the bases. Adam Brungart looking for his second and maybe more RBIs in his next at-bat.
The wind and the 1-2 pitch. Brungart swings and lines it to right field. That's going to be a base hit. That one might head all the way to the fence. It is cut off. 2 runs will score. Brungart going for second. It's a 2-out, 2-run double for Adam Brungart, and the Diggers extend the lead. It's 5-1.
They were looking for more when Joe Ginther followed Adam.
And the pitch. He swings and drives it high and deep to left field. That one might go. That one is off the fence. 2-run score. Ginther is racing for second. It's a 2-1 double. The Beetdiggers have extended the lead to 7-1.
And with Alexander pitching so well, it appeared that lead would be extremely comfortable. But the Eagles began to chip away with a run in the sixth inning, making it 7-2, and then had 3 in the seventh inning, and all of a sudden it was a 7-5 game when Matt Weiner came in, a man on second, and 2 down.
And the 1-2 pitch. He struck him out, called strike 3 on the outside corner. At the knees, the Beetdiggers win the game 7-5.
Tim Crow was the strikeout victim as Alexander got the win, his first one of the year. He also posted 11 Ks. The Beetdiggers get the doubleheader sweep for head coach Mark Muniz.
Good defense held true, and win's a win at this point in time. For us, we're back in it. We're back in the race. And I told these kids that by next weekend we're going to have a winning record.
The Beetdiggers were 2-2 in Northern Plains League play and 4-7 overall, despite getting only 5 base hits. The rematch between Brush and Akron took place just 4 days later on April 8th at Sunset Park. In the opening meeting, it was all those Akron errors that helped the Beetdiggers out in producing a 15-run first inning. But this time it was the Diggers who helped out the Rams with 3 errors in the top of the first to go along with a couple of walks and 2 Akron hits as the Rams raced out to a 5-0 lead. The Beetdiggers responded in a little way in the bottom of the first inning as Jason Radke's single stole second, but he was still on second base with 2 down and Adam Brungart at the plate.
Brungart, the leading hitter on this team, also hitting with an open stance for the right side at 4:24 the pitch. He swings and grounds it up the middle for a base hit to the left of the shortstop. Rounding third is Radke. Here comes the third of the plate. In on a hop. He is safe. Going to second is Brungart. That throw is late. The Beetdiggers now trail 5-1 on the RBI single from Adam Brungart.
After the Diggers shut down the Rams in the top of the second, Brush put together some 2-out thunder. Tomas Perez reached on an error by shortstop Matt Glosson. Jason Radke then walked. Up came Jose Aguilar.
Beetdiggers runners at first and second and 2 outs, and there's a swing, a fly ball hit well out to right center field. Running over and diving and unable to make the catch for the Rams is Jim Schabauer. That's going to score. Thomas Perez rounding third and coming home is Radke. He is going to score. It's a 2-run double for Aguilar, and the Brush Beetdiggers are within 2. They've cut the lead in half. It is now 5-3.
Neither team scored in the third inning. Then the Rams put together 3 runs in the fourth, thanks to a run-scoring double by Matt Glosson and a 2 RBI double by Raymond Thornton. But the Beetdiggers answered in the bottom of the fourth. With 2 down and nobody on, Aguilar was hit by a pitch. Bryson Miller singled. And you know who came up next.
And the pitch home. Swung on and driven high and deep to left field. That ball is going to sail well over the fence and well over the automobiles for a home run. A 3-run shot by Adam Brungard. Delirium in the stands, and the Diggers have cut into this. Akron leads now 8-6.
But just when you thought the Beetdiggers were back in the game, Akron put together their second 5-run inning of the game, fueled in part by Jarrett Lambertson's 2-run homer, and after 4.5 innings, they had a commanding 13-6 lead. The Beetdiggers got just a little bit closer on a sacrifice fly by Bryson Miller in the bottom of the 6th, and it was 13-7, but the Rams scored 2 runs to make it 15-7 as the Beetdiggers batted in the bottom of the 7th inning. Mitch Muniz would single. 2 batters later, Nate Hepner singled. Tomas Perez then grounded into a fielder's choice, but the Rams could not make the play loading the bases. Jason Radke was promptly hit by a pitch. Crossing home plate was Muniz, making it 15-8. Jose Aguilar then grounded a second, scoring another run and making it 15-9 with 2 outs. And Bryson Miller was Brush's last opportunity.
He swings and hits a base hit up the middle. A massive shot by the pitcher. Scoring easily are Perez and Radke. And the Diggers are to within 4. It's 15-11 on the 2-run single from Bryson Miller.
But Brungard hit into a fielder's choice, and the Rams won the game by that 15-11 score. The Beetdiggers did get a couple of base hits from Aguilar, from Miller, and by Adam Brungard. Jason Radke had a very good game as well, despite only going 1 for 2, but he was hit by 2 pitches. He also walked and scored 4 times. The Beetdiggers fell to 4-8 on the season. The Beetdiggers were back on the field 24 hours later on April 9th, playing their final regular season home game against the winless Frederick Warriors. But it was the Warriors who broke out on top in the top of the 2nd inning on an RBI single from Daniel DeLuna. In this pitching duel between Rocky Peterson of Frederick and Brush's Adam Alexander, neither team could break through once again until the bottom of the 4th inning when Jose Aguilar walked, stole second, and was still there with 1 down, and Adam Brungard inside the batter's box.
Lined by the third baseman into left field, a base hit by Adam Brungard. Aguilar will score to tie the game. Brungard rounds first, he'll stay there, and now he goes to second on the throw home. And the Beetdiggers, once again, they score in the 4th inning. This seems to happen just about every game, and we're deadlocked at 1.
Now the question was, which pitcher would tire first? The answer was Peterson of Frederick. Let's go to the bottom of the 6th inning with a game tied at 1, and Bryson Miller leading off with a routine grounder to the third baseman Chris Caldaway, who could not make the play. Miller was eventually erased at second on Adam Brungard's fielder's choice, but Joe Ginther reached on another Chris Caldaway error, placing runners at first and second. Mitch Muniz singled to load the bases. That brought up Adam Alexander, who walked to drive in the go-ahead run. Jorge Fierro was at the plate, looking to provide some insurance runs.
The payoff pitch. He swings and lines it into right field. That is going to drop for a base hit. Scoring easily is Hepner. And coming around third is Perez. He will score, make it Mitch Muniz. And the Beetdiggers lead 4-1 on the 2-run single from Jorge Fierro.
When Peterson walked Tomas Perez to load the bases once again, that signaled the end of the game for Peterson. And they brought in Andy Caldaway, who was a disaster, walking Radke with the bases loaded and Aguilar. That made it 6-1 in favor of the Beetdiggers, but Caldaway was still in the game when Bryson Miller came up.
2-1 pitch. That is swung on and lifted high and deep into left field, and that is going to be a grand slam for the Beetdigger first baseman Bryson Miller. His 3rd homer of the year. The Diggers have blown it wide open from Sunset Park and Brush on the mammoth shot by Bryson Miller. It's 10-1.
Frederick made their 3rd pitching change of the inning. Scott Bohannon came in to face Adam Brungard.
The pitch. Breaking ball is swung on and driven high and deep along the line and left. If it stays fair, it's gone, and it is a home run, and the game is over. Brungard with a majestic shot well over the left field fence towards the houses out there. The Diggers score 10 in the bottom of the 6th, and they win the game 11-1.
Coach Muniz knows that it wasn't pretty, but it was a win.
As soon as we got those runs, and I knew we were going to come alive, and we did. We did a good job at the plate in those later innings. They scared me a little bit, but that's just how we're going to play games, I guess. It was a solid game today. I'm excited. I'm excited because it's sprint to the end, and I think we're going to be there. No, I shouldn't say think. I know we're going to be there at the end.
Adam Alexander pitched a complete game, 5 hitters, striking out 6, as the Diggers upped their record to 5-8. April 13th in Yuma against the Indians provided the Beetdiggers their next opportunity to secure a victory. But for the third consecutive game, it was the opponent who got on the board first when Tyson Brown delivered a 2-out RBI single to give the Indians a 1-0 lead after 1. In the top of the third, Brett Okeson singled, stole second, and was still there with 2 down when Jason Radke was vying to tie the game.
The stretch and the pitch. Swung on, lined on 2 hops by the second baseman into center field. Okeson rounds. He's going to score easily, and the game is going to be tied at 1. Going to second on the throw is Radke, and he gets the RBI single.
The pitchers then took over the game for the next few innings. Tyson Brown of Yuma, Bryson Miller of Brush, but particularly Brown, who struck out the side in the top of the 5th inning. In the top of the 6th, Brown retired the first 2 Beetdigger hitters in Jason Radke and Jose Aguilar, but Bryson Miller was at the plate looking to change the score.
The 0-2 pitch. Swinging a drive, and that is going to be gone. Wall over the left center field fence. It's a home run for Bryson Miller. A rocket shot. And the Diggers lead 2-1 on Bryson Miller's 4th home run of the year.
It appeared that lead would be short-lived when the Indians loaded the bases with 1 out in the bottom of the 6th inning, but Miller struck out the next hitter. However, he still had to deal with Josh Lyon.
Miller looks back at first, and the payoff pitch. Swung on and grounded to Alexander at short. He's got to throw to first. A long throw is in time to retire Lyon by a couple of steps. And the Beetdiggers get out of a major jam in the 6th.
Now the quest for the Beetdiggers was how to plate that insurance run. In the 7th, Adam Alexander reached on an error. Brett Okeson then singled. Kyle Temple, in his first appearance of the year, laid down a perfect sacrifice bunt, advancing the runners to 2nd and 3rd. After Jason Radke walked to load the bases, Jose Aguilar surprised some.
Tyson Brown with a 1-1 pitch. And suicide squeeze, and he lays it down, scoring easily is Alexander. And being tagged out is Aguilar. A perfectly executed suicide squeeze by Jose Aguilar, and the scoring, Adam Alexander, and the Diggers lead 3-1.
That was more than enough for Miller, who retired Zach Meyer to lead off the bottom of the 7th, then got Raul Adams to fly to center, and it was Trent Heberlein with one final chance for the Indians.
The 0-2. Breaking ball, he swung at the same pitch 3 times and missed it. Bryson Miller records the strikeout, his 10th of the game. The Beetdiggers win by a score of 3-1.
Bryson Miller got his 3rd victory of the year, but all head coach Mark Muniz could talk about was that excellent 7th inning in which Temple and Aguilar laid down perfect bunts.
You got to go to your short game. We put him in there, just asked him to put it down. He did a great job putting it down. And what we asked Jose was just to get it up the first base line. And when he was at the plate, I just told him he's coming. You got to get it down.
The Beetdiggers improved their mark in the Northern Plains to 3-2 and were 6-8 overall.